Hi, I am Dr. Kim Sage. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. Welcome to my channel. I truly am glad you are here. We're going now into a series on really attachment-based dynamics in terms of our own attachment and our child's story and how all of that can show up in our lives and relationships. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and joining this little growing community and hopefully, just learning more and growing more together. And also please check out the links down below to courses I've created specifically for those of you who had really difficult childhoods with difficult parents. If you feel like your inner child is in need of wounding and healing, and also just want to understand more about what could have happened to you in childhood, please check those out. They're all posted on Thinkific. Okay, so today's video is really number 2 of this video that I made in terms of healing anxious attachment. And I'm going to be going into videos on avoidant and anxious and disorganized, and all those things I talked about to heal, I'm making separate videos about. So I hope you will find them helpful. This video today is this video today is the most important thing that you can do if you are still in a difficult relationship with your parents, and or it's still very toxic and unsafe, and or you have gone no contact but never really healed the parts of you that were wounded. So maybe it feels better, and it is better and safer that you don't talk to them if that's your choice, but you're still very unreconciled in terms of your childhood. And it is specifically for those of you, like I said, who are just coming into therapy, you're doing the issues and focusing on them and doing the work, I should say, but you don't know how to disentangle yourself from the parenting relationship you have. And as I've said a million times, you cannot do this work, especially on your childhood, if you are going back into the same dynamics with the same wounding parents. You will only get so far. So maybe you don't deal with your parents, but you have these same issues with your partner. In other words, you're playing out your trauma bonds with your partner. What is that expression that the expression is the trauma of childhood plays out as the drama of marriage. I don't know who said that. I'm gonna have to Google that. I saw it on TikTok. I'm just saying, I think it's a profound statement. I'm sure it's one of the researchers probably, but I think it's the truth. But really, it's not just your marriage, it's your relationships. It really is that your childhood wounds and attachment become the attachment drama and dramas you have in your adult, especially romantic relationships, but also with your friends, your boss, your coworkers, right? All of that stuff can trigger our deep attachment wounds. So this topic is about the most important thing that I believe you want to do, especially if you have any kind of parents who are difficult, but we're focusing today on more anxious parents, where they're very intrusive, or they're very fear-mongering, or they're there for you, they're not there for you, whatever it is, the relationship is triggering. Now, this is 100% true if your parents are on the untreated, borderline, or narcissistic, or emotionally immature spectrum, 100% no matter what your attachment style is. But the problem is that you must deal with this relationship. And so what do I mean by that? I mean that ideally you start with trying to work on it if that's possible, whether it's on your own end through setting boundaries, through trying to start out with setting relationship expectations that shift, that serve your heart and life better. But if you don't deal with it and you let that parent continue to engage in your life in the same ways and version as in childhood, it is damn near impossible to truly heal. So what I mean is that either you've worked on boundary setting with this parent, or you've set limits, or you've shaped your expectations in new ways. And I'm going to give you some questions to ask yourself to understand if you've done this work or not. And hopefully it will help you understand where you might need to go. Now, there's a lot of debate about the whole no contact thing. And what I can say to you is this, that for some parents, for many parents, they want to be close to you. In fact, you will have, if you live a normally long life, a much longer relationship with your living child or your living parents than you do in that period of raising children from 0 to 18 or whatever. If you live a longer life, there's a much longer time frame between 18 and the rest of your life if you live somewhere at, let's say, 70s or 80s and beyond. which most people are doing, or many people are doing. I know not all, unfortunately, but many people are doing. And I'm sorry for you if you have lost your parents, and it's a different kind of wound. But what I'm talking about is changing the disturbing dynamics today. So you want to understand that you have to shift something inside and outside in terms of often we're grieving those parents. We're still the longing child inside, wanting them to heal and fix and show up for us. And I'm going to make a video about this, but I find, for example, it's really triggering when you don't have parents anymore, or you do, but you're not talking to them, or your parents were toxic. And then you look at other people who have, living parents that live in healthy ways, and they're 60 and their parents 90, and you're like, how did you get that? I lost my parent at 20, whatever it is. Or how do you have this great mom and I have this terrible mom, and that's not fair, right? That is very triggering. And so even when we're doing the work, the world has a way of reminding us of what our losses are. Or we go to see this parent every Christmas, we go back, we have the same expectations that this time they're going to really see me, and they don't. And they make comments, or they're passive aggressive, or whatever it is, and you keep going, day in and day out, carrying these wounds like 1,000-pound suitcases you're dragging behind you, right? It really is a heavy weight and burden and baggage to carry. And so that's why I'm saying you must deal with this part of your life. You really, really must. And for some of you, you're going to say, well, I've tried and I can't. And it's still really bad, but I can't go no contact. And to you, I would say, maybe you want to reconsider that. Because getting help and support through therapy or groups or books or podcasts, if you have done everything you can and that parent is still destroying your sense of self and causing chaos and drama and trauma in your life, but you don't want to do that, I understand for many cultures, many people, like nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to not talk to their living parent, but sometimes it is the only option for having peace in your life. And so that is something that I can't tell you to do, obviously, but I would tell you to get help and support in doing. Because breaking up with a parent or going no contact, I am super grateful that I have had support for these many, many years, and the work I've done with my own mom. I would not have been able to do it, I don't think, without support. And so I really encourage you to do that. But you've got to do something. Otherwise, you stay in the trapped, helpless victim child role, and that you're being wounded, but nothing can save you. But in childhood, that was true. It is no longer true when you're an adult. And that in and of itself can take years of therapy to understand and accept. So let's get into the questions, I think, that help us understand, have we really done this work and what might we next need to do? Because it is profound. So for example, number one, the question is, what is not okay about how this parent treats me? Basically, what are they doing to you that is hurtful or harmful? Number two, am I okay with how this person or parent is treating me? Number three, have I honestly accepted who this person is or who my parents are or partners, whatever this you want to apply this to? Number four, do I show up each time thinking it will change or wishing it was different? Every time I talk to them on the phone, every time I visit, am I still showing up with the same expectations that have been proven to be impossible? Number five, am I expecting someone else in my life to meet the needs of this unhealed child inside of me, this unhealed child part self? Or am I asking them to do the healing for me? So basically, how is the unhealed child part of you, if it's still unhealed, how is that showing up in other relationships? Are you now not asking your mom to give you these things, but now asking a partner to parent you in a way that is above and beyond what they should be doing? That's a question to ask yourself. Do I continue to show up in this relationship as the child in need of a mother or father or parent? So what is happening? If I honestly look at the child part of me, just a part, it's not all of you, am I stuck in feeling that I deserve or I'm entitled for it to be different, and so I just can't see it for what it is? That's kind of like this, but it isn't fair, it's not right. And you're right, it's not fair, it's not okay. And you did deserve more. But if you're not getting that and you're staying stuck in that, there is nowhere to go with your healing. Do I need to change something? Do I need to grieve the child part? Do I need to, change communication, move farther away, set limits on visitations or phone calls or texts? Number 9, what do I need to change? So being very clear, looking at where the wounds are, what would need to shift. And that includes, are they capable of trying to have boundary changes? Are they responsive to my new ways of engaging? Are they not? Should I go no contact? Whatever. Should I have a surface kind of gray rock relationship where it's just very, very like minimal, nothing triggering, just kind of like, how's the weather? How are you? How are the kids? Things like that. And lastly, what do I need to do to work on healing myself and my wounded inner child? And this is really important because so much of it is that we didn't get parented the way we wanted in childhood. And so we're always and still longing to finally get those needs met. And in a healthy relationship as an adult, you can get some of those needs met in a healthy partner. But if you choose unhealthy partners or you stay stuck in the child self, it is really difficult to ever heal that part and however that's playing out. And so it didn't, it doesn't serve you. It wasn't your fault what happened in childhood, but you are the only one who can change it today. You're the only one. And I know it's not easy to do. It's complicated and hard work, but you have to know that your life will be better for it, more peace-filled, more loving, and emotionally safer for yourself, first and foremost, and in other relationships, because when you do this work with your parent, I promise you, for most people, it translates and it flows into other relationships. When you finally stand up to the parent who wounded you and you say, I don't deserve this. I'm a good person. I'm a loving person, and you are hurting me and you are not okay. Something shifts inside, and that begins to affect how you show up in every other relationship in your life. Not necessarily overnight, but it truly, truly does. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please stay safe and well. Please share your thoughts. And I know this was kind of tough love today, but I cannot tell you how important it is. Stay safe and well, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.